right. Let's see if I can get her on here. Okay. This is my first time trying it. Okay. Oh. Hey. I think I just did the okay.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can.
Hey, look
Okay.
at us.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Girl, I'm like, we like our parents. Like, how you operate this thing?
You should have seen how close I was looking at the phone.
Oh, why are we doing this? We are showing our age.
And even now, I'm like, why is it so close? Like, go back, go back. So yeah, definitely. Because
Oh my
I
God.
don't know anything about this. So
Look, I'm gonna be like this, how they look at stuff.
right,
How
right.
I operate this.
Gotta take the glasses off so you can hear. You know
Yeah.
that.
How you doing?
I am good. I am good.
Oh.
I'm excited about our next one already. So I'll wait. I know you have like some questions, but I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, look, I got something for you because there's this which one is it? The author is Sunny Holston.
Hmm.
She actually is a co-host on the ABC show called The View. I found out
Okay.
she's on that, and she's got her third book to this series that I had already been reading. It comes out the end of this month.
Okay.
So, oh, it's
And
so
I gotta
good.
say something too.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get you to read the first two because I was like, oh, yeah, we're gonna have to discuss this because I just
Right.
told my coworker about it, and she's like, this sounds like a Lifetime movie
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get you to read it. I'll send it to you because I got the first book. I was at I went to Books a Million.
Mm.
And I was like, huh, what they got going on in their little sales section? So I went over there, and lo and behold, the first book of that series was there
Okay.
on sale. I was like, now I
And
already
then
had it in my Amazon cart.
you get hooked after that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
I was yeah. It now the book is. Let me pay. This one had like, well, this book we just finished had like over 300, but that one's got like about over 400 pages.
Oh,
But
okay.
you're gonna you're gonna get through it because it's really good.
But even like this one, some of the chapters were short though. So it was like it made you kind of go faster than you thought because the chapters were pretty short.
Yeah, they were. Like I was and I thought about it because I like that she goes into she gives you the perspective or the point of view of the other people in
Mm-hmm.
her mind.
Yeah. Right.
I
Right.
was like,
Right.
this
Even
is
like the
crazy.
terminology she was using, like fronting, that like, I never heard like it used like that before. But I also
Yeah,
like I felt like I got to know all of the people inside her head before
yeah,
everything went down. And then
yeah.
when everything went down, I was like, what? And
I
I had to
know,
go back in my mind. Cause I
because
was like,
because it
what?
was so crazy because, like, you know, at the beginning, she gives, like, you know, she basically introduces all the people, what she calls her headmates.
Yeah.
And what they call their bad day system. And I was like, oh, okay. That's what made me text you and go, is this part of the series?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm missing something already.
Right, right.
So I was like, okay. But then I looked it up and I went, oh, well, it's not. So now she does have a book previous to this that came out, but it's not this person. So unless this person is maybe within the story of the main character from her previous book, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. Because I really wanted to kind of dive more into like what happened without giving too much away. And I felt like that in itself, like I know they talked about it, but I kind of wanted more details about what happened. Like,
yeah, me
I don't
too.
know, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could use a little bit more into that because I feel like she explained it well as far as how they got there, but when she started to go back, I needed more of that, like right there. So
yeah, because I knew, you know, it was so crazy. I knew that it was something traumatizing because when she has in the book one of the headmates, Kiki, who's 4 years old, I said, okay, something really bad happened.
Right.
I don't know what it is, but we're gonna get to the bottom of it. And sure enough, that was a very big surprise. I didn't see that part coming.
No, I didn't either.
I had a feeling it had something to do with her because why else would you have a 4-year-old version of yourself in your mind?
Yeah.
You know, normally when something traumatizing happens, and you've been dealing with something your whole life, it stems from when you were a child.
Right.
And sometimes, and what and it's so crazy because I've even realized this from like other books that I've read. When traumatizing things happen to children, especially when they're that young, they tend to suppress those memories to the point where it's almost like they forget that they've happened, but the scars are still there.
Yeah.
And they can't ignore it, you know.
And
so I was like,
it makes me think about like when I was 4 years old. Like I can't even recall memories from when I was 4 years old, which I know is different when it's like a traumatic memory that will stick out more. But I'm talking 4 years old, man. And you got
really have those.
Yeah. And she was Ken's character, wasn't she like 30 something? Wasn't Ken like 30?
Yeah, she was she was around like our age. I want to say she was about like 37, 38. Yeah.
Because when she got to the castle, she just knew it was familiar. She didn't, all the pieces weren't there yet until later on. And it all sticks with that. Yeah. So it had to be suppressed, like you said. So
it had to have been.
Yeah.
Because it was so crazy. I was thinking like the only thing I can ever think of when that happened, well, it wasn't anything bad or anything. It was just I'm trying to think of memories from when I was 4. The most I could come up with was me in preschool going to Just 4 and 5 and something like that. That's it. I can't think of nothing else. I know more from kindergarten than I do at the age of 5 than I do at 4.
Yeah, I can't. I really can't. Like I would say, my memories probably would have like I can remember elementary school, like things I've done in elementary school, but not old. Like I might remember a birthday, but I can't tell you how old I was. So that's a lot. That's a lot. So
that is a lot. You know, I think, and it's crazy because I think anytime you have from newborns to toddlers, that's like that. It seems like that's the stage of life where we don't. I guess because our brains are still forming,
right?
So we don't tend to process things as and hold them in memory as we do when we're 7 or when we're 10 or 13 or 16. You know,
right, which is true.
So So let me get this introduction because these folks, if anybody decides to pop on, they ain't gonna know what we talking about. People, they're gonna be like, what they just talking about? This is a book club, okay? We ain't come up with a name yet, but this is our book club, and Kanisha is the first member of this book club.
Yay! Member number 1. And this awesome book club if y'all hop on.
I know, right?
So y'all can hop in on the next book.
I know, right? They can hop in on the next one. Next time I have to put out a notification or something like, "Hey, we're going live with the next book that we're gonna read." Because this one here that we just finished.
Yeah.
Look,
it was good.
Before I even show them the book, right? Check this out. It was rain. You know, it's been raining bad today.
Right.
So the power at work went out like 3 times. Now we got a generator, but it went out like 3 times.
Yeah.
Look, the first time it went out, I had just walked out my office. I'm walking down the hall to go to the restroom, and it just went soup. And I'm looking, good. Look, nobody was in the hall, so it looked like a horror movie. Like, hold up, let me go back and get my phone to get the flashlight. I said, I was not expecting this.
And then the fact that we read this book, I would have been like, am I on the couch?
Yeah.
Is it time? Like
it's raining outside, just like in the book. Like, what is hold up? I ain't ready for this.
Because that did happen again. I thought that would have been on my mind for real.
I was like, yeah, and it was so funny because my coworker heard me because I kind of yelped a little bit. I ain't screamed. I was just went like, oh, wait.
Right.
I said, this is pure coincidence. What is going on? So, but yeah, so this is the book. Anybody who decides to pop on, called One of Us Knows. It is a thriller by Alyssa Cole. She is a one of our Black writers. She's awesome, by the way. I actually looked up some of her stuff. I want to say this might be her second book that she's written. And it is fiction, so y'all, this ain't real life. I would be concerned.
Right.
But this is a fiction book. And it is African American fiction. We got to show our people a lot of love because we do have a lot of African American Black authors out there who really do not get the type of recognition that they deserve. And it's so crazy. We actually remember that movie called Deliver Us from Evil?
Yeah.
They had so Gabrielle Union was in there, her and LL Cool J. I just found out one of the ladies who played her sister. It wasn't Megan Good. It was the other brown skin one.
About the white characters?
Yes. That movie that's out. Oh, she wrote the book.
Oh my God.
She's the author of that book. What is the name of that movie? Because it's got the actress that I like, Anne Hathaway, in there. Something with Peace or something. But yeah, I just found out she's the author of that book.
Yep.
I said, what you say?
Yep. But the thing is, when they said that she had to make her characters white to sell it.
I know. And that's, that it's so crazy. I read that in another book like last year. I want to say it was called, what was the name of that book? Because I read a lot of them last year. But they were like, they wanted the lady, the main character of the book, to make her characters white in order to put it into a movie. And she was like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I hate that because shoot, from a lot of the books that I've read that's by us, we got some good material. I mean, you can sell it. It can sell, but it's just something that you have to feel like you have to bend to get your work out there to another audience, And I hate she had to do that. But if that's the case, I hate that she did it. But at the same time, it's probably going to be, I wouldn't mind watching the movie still, just because she's the author behind it. So,
though, still. I mean, that's still good for her. either way.
It is. And she gonna get some money. Come on.
It's a coin.
You know, she's still gonna get her money. I know this. I know it was probably a big decision to make because it's like, dang, you know. But if she made her decision,
Gotta do what you
I
got.
can't get mad at her too much for that. So,
Yeah.
so let's dig into this book. Oh, child.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, but first off, what's the stars that you give it? 1 through 5. How many stars you give this book?
So I would say the only reason I would say for my stars is because I just wanted a little bit more about the background. That's the only reason. Otherwise, I really, really like the book. So I would give it a 4.
I would do the same.
Yeah.
I would do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that because I feel like you said, there was that little bit that we could have got a little bit more of, and we didn't get it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you know, especially like how it starts off when she wakes up on the dock.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we like, huh? How'd she even get here?
Right, right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, look, I got some notes here because I was like, okay, I may have. That's why you got finished before me. I had to sit here and write these notes because I'm like, there's a lot. Because I would have been done with this book.
I ain't do no notes.
Well, I guess since I'm the president of the book club, I have to do the note.
You gotta have it. I'm just a reader.
I got to be the leader.
That's right. You're the leader.
So, all right. So she has, first of all, she's got like 50-some thousand head mates. I'm just playing. She got some head people in her mind. Okay. And they all serve a purpose in this system of hers that she has in her mind. So our character is, I almost thought she had your name, but it's is it Kenitra?
Yeah, I think it was Kenitria.
Yeah,
and they just call it Ken for short. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
and she has what they call dissociative identity disorder, which is DID. And oh my God, I said, because there's a series that I've been reading since 2016 that has a character that has that same thing.
Really?
And I went, oh, here we go.
I
already knew. I said, this is like Sybil. I don't know if you ever seen that movie called Sybil?
Yeah. That's telling our age now.
I know, right? I said, she got too many people in her mind. Like, where's the oil when you need it? The oil, the cross, all of it. This is too much.
Yeah.
But it's so crazy because, like we were just saying, she wakes up on a dock and she doesn't even know how she got there. Mm-hmm. So that's, where we was like, okay, we could have had a little bit more. We would have gave this book 5 stars if we knew how she even got there, And she's there because she's going to start a new job. And apparently it's one of her headmates supposedly set this up for her while she was in a dormant state. Come to find out she was in a dormant. Yeah, she was like in a dormant state in the book. They said for like 6 years.
Like, man.
I don't know how that happened.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I was like,
who was fronting then?
Probably everybody else. Della was a big character.
Yeah, because Della, at that time, they were looking for Della, too.
Mm-hmm. They were.
Yeah.
And then because when she gets up, she realized I guess when she's trying to connect to the people in her mind, she realizes Della isn't there. She done went dormant. Right. So we like, okay, well, the person who we think set this up is nowhere to be found. Put out an APB for Della. She left her time dry. I ain't appreciate that.
Yeah.
You can't put me out here vulnerable in the open like this. Yeah. I'm like, I ain't got no flashlight, no nothing. Like, no GPS, not even. Come on, Della.
Right.
But apparently she's gonna she's on her way to this place called Kavanaugh Island Historical Home. and that's where the fun is about to begin.
Yeah.
But before she gets there, she's introduced to a man named John. I forget John's last name, but he's what they call the ferry boat rider, whatever he's called. And he basically once she boards the ferry, he takes her there. He's basically giving her a whole life story about the island and this myth and the stories and all that kind of crap.
Yeah.
That we personally don't care about sometimes. And I love history, but I'm like, nah, this sounds like a load of crap.
Yeah.
But I digress.
But it was
I digress. I know. I was like, sir, don't try to butter me up. I'm still trying to figure out how I got here.
And I guess they wanted to give us the history, because leading up to it, I guess to kind of tie in, it still didn't give us, because it didn't tell us about the goblins and stuff until later.
Exactly.
But I'm saying maybe his history was just trying to let her know that somebody died there. Like, I don't know.
Well, John, what he did was he tried to paint this picture like this place was like it was almost pure. Like there's nothing bad that's ever happened here. It's just the historical meaning of this place is just so grand and and it was anything but, as we come to find out.
Yeah, right.
And
he knows it all because he's been there like since the so.
Yeah. So like, she when they get there, the first person she meets is Celeste, who
right.
Oh, Celeste. I said, wait a minute, Celeste. And you know what? I had a feeling about her because I was like, okay, Celeste. Are we the same?
You started. I was like, okay.
I was like, we the same? We had the same thing going on?
Right.
You giving me hints. I be paying attention to them little, what they call them little Easter eggs.
Yep.
But Celeste she kind of mean at first. Like she kind of like grumpy. Like, girl,
I'm just here to up. That was it. Yeah.
Celeste like me when I wake up in the morning.
Don't ask me no questions. Don't ask me for no advice. I'm here to do my job, and that's it. That was Celeste's whole vibe when they first met. Like,
she's like, why I'm here.
Yeah. Right.
I'm here to get this check and go home.
That's it. Yeah.
So like, I guess look, she gets, so basically she, Celeste kind of shows her where she needs to go. Apparently this castle feels like it's just booby trapped because every time she has to go up the stairs, down the stairs, she got to watch where she's going or she's going to fall into the abyss. I don't know. Yeah. I'm like, is this, it was kind of the way that she was describing the scenery. And I was like, now look, so if she misses a step, is she going to fall to the center of the earth? Like, I'm confused.
And it kind of played into kind of how John was saying that the wife kind of painted like the vision of what she wanted the castle to be, but it wasn't any kind of structural things with it. I almost made it seem like it was there, it was nice, but it lacked some of the foundational pieces as far as what he was saying and some of the history. So when she would be going around the castle, I would be wondering if it's pretty on the outside, but on the inside, is it like messed up or something? Because it seems like no matter which way she's gonna go, it's like almost like she's just gonna fall because it's
and
like it wasn't structured. I don't know,
Yeah, it don't seem like when the castle was built, it was built how it should have been.
Right.
And maybe it was intentionally like that. As we come to find out, later, like what they was trying to do, with evil people.
Oh my
but I know, girl. I said, now this is what I've been waiting on.
It blew my mind. It blew my mind. That's all I'm gonna say.
So, all right. So her first interaction, with the castle, after Celeste like shows her a little bit around, shows her to, her room or whatnot, but even right before then, remember Celeste told her, if you make it through the night. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, man, is this a haunted house?
I
Like, what you mean if I make it through the
Yeah.
night? So,
Right.
and so she like goes to sleep or whatnot, and that's when the headmates start
Mhm.
appearing.
Mhm.
And Solomon, I don't know why, but I actually like Solomon. He's
Yeah.
actually my favorite out of the
Yeah.
headmate.
I do like
You
Solomon.
like it too?
He's so it's like Solomon's so chill. It's
He
almost
is.
like Solomon comes at like the right time. Almost
And
like
he's
that level headedness that you need for yourself. It's like even
even killed.
sometimes when she'll be asking for him or wanting him to appear, it's like he just comes even towards the end, he just comes at like the best time. Like he's so level headed in that way. I like Solomon too.
I do. I like Solomon. I
Yeah.
said he's like Ken. At the first page it says like everybody has like who their roles are
Mm-hmm.
out of the headmates,
Mm-hmm.
and they have Ken as a protector, but shoot, Solomon is almost like a protector himself. Like he's
Yeah.
very protective of her.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Very.
so I thought that was
Yeah.
interesting. But when she takes her first sleep in the
Mm-hmm.
castle, Solomon front.
Yeah.
He's now, and he has this tendency to sleepwalk,
Mm-hmm.
to have her sleepwalking when he fronts, especially when she goes to sleep. And
Mm-hmm.
when that's happening, oh buddy, we get that first interaction with a ghost. I was like, had
Oh my
that girl
God.
running already. She was already running for her life. I was
Did
like,
she saw a woman and was that when she saw the woman in like the white gown or
yep.
something? Yeah. I'm like,
Hmm.
what? Yeah.
And when
Mm.
that was happening, it said she thought she was dreaming, and so when she's because Kim was running when she saw that person,
Mm-hmm.
because remember she went to pull on the door,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
then when she did, she saw the ghost or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and then she took off running, and
Yeah.
something was like chasing her at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, and it was when Kiki bites her,
Yep.
wake her up from
Mm-hmm.
it. She's like, "How the heck? What is going on? What y'all be doing when I
Yeah.
be sleeping?" You
Yeah.
know.
Right.
And so let's see what else I got down here. I got a couple of notes, girl. Oh, so back to those headmates. From what I was reading, it seems like they tend to take over Ken's body, which that means they're fronting,
Mm-hmm.
depending on whatever the situation Ken is in.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so if she's frantic,
Mm-hmm.
she has somebody like
Yeah.
Mesmer who came
Yeah.
up in the she
Yeah.
came up in the clutch towards the end.
Yeah.
Now I was like, okay, Mesmer.
For
She's like
real.
the therapeutic,
Yeah.
like breathing and
Mm-hmm.
all that kind of stuff, to try to calm her down.
Mm-hmm.
You got Solomon, of course.
Yeah.
So it's like they just tend to,
Right.
front themselves whenever the time
Yeah.
requires for them to do so,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought that was kind of interesting,
Yeah.
you know.
Was
Uh,
Mesmer a teenager? Was Mesmer?
yeah, well, no, Empress was the
Empress.
teenager.
Yeah, that's who
Yeah,
I was thinking about. Because Empress,
Mesmer.
I remember her think she was out, but she wasn't even supposed to be or something. When Empress was out, you remember that?
Uh, no, Kiki's the only one who's not
Oh,
allowed to front by herself because she's the
yeah.
baby, so she's not
Yeah.
allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Mesmer, I think she was like 20
Okay.
years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you got Lurk. Let me see, because I got the book right here. I think Lurk is Lurk a teenager?
I feel like
Okay, well,
somebody
we
was
don't
a
know.
teenager.
Well, okay, Lurk, we don't have they don't have his age on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, so now we got past that little part. We get into this little bookcase where if we discover some information about this castle and about the people who owned and built the castle.
Right.
Right. So I wrote down, Ken, she finds a bookcase. She finds this thin booklet that was on the top shelf. And then the first page read it's dated March 23rd of 1918.
Mm-hmm.
And it's by Grace Kavanaugh, who was the wife of Simon Kavanaugh, who built the castle and added the tower to the castle, which is where that goes.
Because wasn't John saying that Grace was black? And then
He
it
was.
was like a part of like his history that he was talking about, and he was just kind of insinuating that Grace was black. But Ken found out that she was black. Was that when that part was? Or was that later?
No, it was. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember if Grace was black, she might have been really light, where she could pass for white.
Picture of her. Maybe she saw a picture of Grace in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she did.
Okay, maybe
she did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because John, he did insinuate.
Like during his little history lesson on the water, he insinuated that. Yeah.
And see, that let me know already. There's something about to go down back in them days that I wasn't feeling.
Right.
I said, what y'all trying to do?
We
know what y'all about. Y'all ain't feeling nobody. But look, they when she found that the letter that was in that book that has the date on it, that's by Grace Kavanaugh, she also sees that Grace talks briefly about this secret lover that she has named Lottie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she got to see her. I think before the castle was built, they were seeing each other discreetly.
It started getting
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. But when her husband Simon built that castle, she did ask him in the letter. She asked him like why is there a tower in the castle? Like why would you add a tower to the castle? And he said it was to keep her safe.
But John said that she died.
But from what and from who? What's that?
I said, didn't John say that Grace died shortly after the castle was built?
I think so.
During his history thing on the water?
Yeah.
So I guess her body would have had to have been before, because she died a little bit after the castle was built.
Yeah, because Grace kind of even though she was the reason that she ended up having to marry Simon was because her dad made her marry Simon because of Grace's she was into other stuff. And Dad was like, we ain't having that here. You got to get married. You ain't gonna make our name look bad out here.
We gotta look good. Yeah.
We gotta, how they was back in the day.
Right.
You can't be loose out here. Good. I said, okay, Dad. They ain't play back in them days. But now we gonna get further into it because we get introduced to this. Oh my God. I was so tired of him. Landon.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah. Right.
The ex-boyfriend.
I was too.
Oh, my everlasting nerves. I'm like, why are you here?
And then Ken still was like, well, why is Landon here? And I'm like, what is going on? When are y'all two people? Because she ended up there, landing there. How you end up there with your ex-boyfriend? Don't know how you got there. And Della still like here, so she ain't telling nobody nothing. And she was starting this whole thing. And she ain't came out and said nothing.
I said, Della, how you gonna put all this here in motion?
Right.
And you don't tell nobody. Now here we are looking like who shot James. Right. We like, I don't know. I'm like this. Maybe I don't know.
Landon got
I'm
on my
10
nerves
right
for sure.
now.
Landon got on my nerves for sure. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was the worst. He
Mm-hmm.
was the worst. And apparently he knows about her DID.
Yeah.
He
Because
knows
he said, which one of
about it.
you is it? I'm like, no shit.
I
Which
said,
one of
good
you? Right. How
Lord.
you know?
Because apparently,
Yeah.
he was mad at her because also prior to this happening, them running back into each other, she had an incident with his dad where she like beat the crap out of him apparently. And she wasn't sent to jail. She didn't get locked up or anything. They didn't, they let it go, but that just wasn't one of her best moments of her life.
So imagine
And we
how
don't even
that
know
feels.
how. And that's another thing I wish she had talked
Yeah.
about more. Like, what led to her even doing that to his dad?
And I want to know that too. Like, and now that you bring it back up, it makes me remember that I was thinking, okay, I wonder what happened. I
Yeah,
wonder what happened to make that.
yeah,
They only talked about the aftermath, but not leading up to it.
yeah.
So,
That's why I may have to eventually. We're gonna have to see that previous book that she has to see if
yeah,
maybe this character gets introduced
yeah,
in that book
right,
that
right.
leads up to that's
Yeah.
maybe explains that a little bit
Mm-hmm.
more. Because I was like, are we reading a sequel
Yeah,
to something
yeah,
or what? I
yeah,
have no idea.
yeah. Yeah, that would have been nice to know for sure. Like, I mean, a beat down probably would deserve, but I just wanted to know, like, what happened? What made Kid do the beat down? So, yeah,
Yeah, like how did they even get introduced to each other?
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so that's my
Mm-hmm.
that's why I'm with you with the 4 stars because I'm
Mm-hmm.
like that right there. I wish I knew a little bit more.
Yeah,
We need a little bit more
yeah.
backstory,
Even
and
how did
everything.
Landon even know about the DID? Like, how did all of that? Like, it's just a lot of
Yeah,
it's a lot of layers. It's a lot of layers
yeah.
because they seem to switch seamlessly.
Mhm.
Besides when I think it was Mesmer that ended
Yeah.
up confronting with what was her name? Was that Mes? What was her name? Spud. The one that we were just saying that was like, I'm here to do my job. What's her
Oh,
name?
Celeste.
Yeah, Celeste. Was that Mesmer that was fronting at that time with Celeste? It was somebody other than Ken
It
because
was. I know Solomon did. Solomon fronted with
yeah,
Celeste a couple of times.
yeah.
Empress
Empress,
did.
that's what it was.
Yeah,
'Cause she asked her name. It was Empress. Okay.
and Empress was the one who actually told her that.
Yes,
You
yes.
know,
I
and
like
that made
those. Yeah,
Celeste like go, oh, okay, like, what?
yeah,
Like, all right,
yeah.
Celeste, what you ain't telling us?
So
I said, what you not telling us,
she ain't
Celeste? I
never
don't
she
believe you.
was just like, all right. So,
So,
so
so
yeah.
Landon, with his ugly self, I can't stand him. Um, he has the
Right.
nerve to get mad at her, finding out that she's the caretaker. And he's like, we didn't hire you. She's like, yes, you did.
And that
Like,
was day early,
they
right?
right. She was like, literally got hired. Everybody, even
Yeah.
Celeste, like, she's been hired. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know. But now we get something that's interesting. This is the part where what they call the inner world and the outer world are starting to kind of
Mm-hmm.
collide and mess up a
Right.
little bit. Because
Right.
that's when they find out that Della is missing.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yep.
said that they went to Della's room and it looked like
Mm-hmm.
glass had been
I
broken.
know.
And it's like, like
Yeah.
what's going on? And then not only is she ended up missing Lurk, the
Mm.
other dude,
Yeah.
he's missing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then the biggest shock was that the castle that Ken is at literally is like a same image of the castle in the inner world that her
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
headmates live in.
crazy. Oh, that was so crazy. Okay. It was. It was so crazy. I was
I
like, what?
said, man, what is
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't understand. But yeah, Oh yeah, I put in here Empress does front and she tells so when Empress fronts
Mm-hmm.
and she tells Celeste about the DID, Mesmer is her guide.
Oh,
So it's
that's
like
what.
both of
Okay,
them kind of,
gotcha.
yeah.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha.
And then now we get to the gene pool of Landon.
Mm-hmm.
So his pappy, Mr. Winslow Pearson, arrives to the island with what they call the members of the Kavanaugh Trust.
Mm-hmm.
And he encourages Ken to stay because she was like, I'm trying to leave
Yep.
because he's telling me to get up out of here. And I'm like, look, I ain't trying to have no more problems.
Y'all ain't
Let me
hired
get
me
up out of
anyway,
here.
so yeah.
But come to find out, it was Landon's dad
Mm-hmm.
who actually was the one who hired Ken.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I was thinking, I said, but could it be that Landon didn't know of his father's plans?
Right.
You know, because Landon was there, you know, to, I guess, like, what's Celeste say he was there to do? Like survey the land or something before the
Mm-hmm.
trust comes through.
Yeah.
And normally that's like what people do that's trying to get in
Mm-hmm.
with the big boys,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to show their worth, I guess, or whatnot. And then here we go again. Mesmer goes missing in the
Yep.
inner world. I said, what the heck?
That
Now we got 3 people
all
missing.
of that was going on at the same time. And it was a lot. Because then it had me thinking like, okay, if Landon's dad hired her knowing that that's Landon's ex, like what's that about? Like to not say, hey son, your ex is gonna be working here. I mean, because you know, Ken wasn't just a stranger. But it didn't
No.
really talk about, or at least I don't remember why he hired Ken and Landon. Because I don't believe Landon knew. I don't believe he knew, but then I know that he knew that that was his ex.
He had to, and then that's the same
So,
ex that beat you up.
yeah. So
I
you
was
gonna hire
like,
somebody to beat you up?
that's what made me go, something
Yeah.
sick
So
and
you
twisted
knew
is about to
exactly.
happen.
So
I
I
said,
felt like it was some kind of setup. Like
it had to be.
there was some kind of setup. You doing this and you know, I don't know. But yeah. Yeah.
I said, yeah, he got some
Yeah.
sick that he want to
Some in the
do,
water ain't
and I ain't
clean.
for it. Huh?
Mm-mm. Some in the water ain't clean. That's what I was like. Wait a minute, this don't make sense. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Girl,
Mm-hmm.
you crazy white folks. We gotta like get out.
Right. I know, right? Drink the tea, drink the tea. Don't drink the tea, don't drink the tea.
Don't do it. Don't do it. But so check this out. So I caught something during that time, and I wrote this down. It said like there was a conversation between Solomon and Ken,
Mm-hmm.
and Solomon, because I guess because remember he didn't even tell Ken about what's been going on in the inner world.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't tell her that Della went missing and
No.
anybody else that went
Right.
missing. He
Right.
trying to figure that out himself
Right.
because he's like, look, we got to deal with this, and we also got to
Mm-hmm.
deal with what's going on with Ken and that castle
Right.
in the outer world. So we don't need to put too much stuff on her. But he
Mm-hmm.
was wondering if a new headmate had emerged
I
when
know.
Ken was awoke from her 6-year dormancy.
Right.
And I went,
I remember that.
because remember there was a part in the
Uh,
book, I
but
think it was
somebody
kind
was
of
good.
early where they talk about how headmates can come in, like how they can be
Right.
just, yeah. And I went, oh man, I didn't even think of that, you know, could that be the person that did, who was
Right.
messing with Della and then
Right.
Mesmer and Lurk, you
And then
know, like,
the point where she was like, somebody was talking aggressively to her. You remember that? And it didn't
yep.
sound familiar. So,
Yeah, I went, oh my God. So, let me see here. What did I put down? Girl, I can't read my own handwriting.
I'm
Hold
glad you
on.
didn't
And I
know.
and I
I
write
think
pretty
you
good.
read.
Seemed her. Mhm.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay. So, you know, there was a um a part in there where even though
I'm sorry.
Solomon's trying to figure out, is this the baby?
Yeah. Hey.
Hey.
All right, go that way. Bye-bye. All right, go that way. I just want to stay at Okay. Shh, I'm sorry. It was only so long. It was only so long I could hide. So you go ahead.
How old is she now?
4.
Ooh, child. Did she just turn 4?
What's this, May? She turned 4 in January.
Oh.
Yeah, so she just turned 4 a few months ago. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
One day I'll get on y'all level.
Take your time.
One of my big cousins, she's in her early 40s. I want to say she just turned 43, and she just had her 3rd. And I was like, all right, you and Ashanti are giving me hope.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
bad now.
Take your time. Take your time.
Take my time.
Enjoy your sleep while you got it.
Girl, yeah. I said, let me, you know what? I might as well.
Yeah.
I said, I might as well enjoy it because I know it's going to be like a whole 360 when that does happen. And I'm going to I'll make my gray hair is going to be coming in then.
Oh, yeah.
I got like one little piece right now on my edge. They're going to be all gray.
What that one piece at? Let me see your one piece.
It's like right over here. You can't even really see it. You have to really look for it. And I went, oh, snap, I got a piece.
Oh, my God.
Try the kids come. I'm going to have them here. They're going to be all over my edge.
Like, is that you? Like, what?
Good. Like any hat, y'all.
Right.
You're like, look, got gray hair and going through menopause. I would be like, look.
All at the same time. That's a bad combination.
Maybe the kids will keep me preoccupied from that.
Right. But
I'm not looking forward to that, by the way.
You got time. You got time.
I know, we got time.
Yeah.
All right, so let me see here. Where was I at? Okay. So I can throw that one away. Oh, so then as the story goes on, so Solomon does tell Ken about what has been going on. I guess because how things are starting to go with her in the outer world, dealing with this mess with Landon and his dad and the trust, and just how things are just, starting to get crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he finally just, and so she's like, well, what's been going on? Because I feel like you've been holding something from me.
Right.
And he finally just like caves and tells her about what's been going on and about the castle, and tells her that the castle looks just like their home on the inner. And she was like, huh? But, well, remember, he tells her about what's been going on, but he neglects to tell her who's been going missing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he withheld that information. He didn't tell her that part. Let's see. Solomon does see a headmate in his world, the inner world, running through their castle. And she's wearing that white dress, got a red scarf, and her face, they say, is like covered in paint. It's like paint strokes or whatever. Or like brush strokes. I think that's what they call. And it's the same ghost that Ken saw.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, how is this possible? I'm confused. Like, how is this person in the inner world?
And that's the person Ken just saw, and she don't know what's going on. So that was wild. That was wild.
So now we get to the meat and potatoes, girl. So Mr. Winslow Pearson, he announces that his son Landon is becoming a full member of the Kavanaugh Trust. Talks about a hunting tradition and other traditions that need to be upheld to happen at the castle. And, and tells Ken that this tradition includes her.
This one get our stuff right here. I just remember screaming at the book, "Don't do it, kid! Don't do it!"
She was
And
well on her way up out of
yeah,
there. But the storm had gotten so bad, so she really wasn't gonna go nowhere.
right,
So
right. Mm-mm.
so then this is where Solomon fronts,
Mm-hmm.
or he co-fronts with Ken,
Mm-hmm.
and tells her what he's discovered about the ghost in the inner world.
Mm-hmm.
And then they both wonder if that ghost is Grace Kavanaugh, which is what I thought. I was like, well, she, maybe she was the one that was kept in that tower. 'Cause remember,
Right.
she asked her husband, why
Yeah.
did you build a tower? And he said it was to keep you safe.
Right.
And, he talks about there's these paintings that's also in the, that are appearing in the inner world.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was just like, okay, I don't know if this is like deja vu.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
Not for sure. Yeah.
But look, I had to make a reference because
Because Ken was
this part where they
calling
talked
herself an
about
artist. Ken was calling himself an artist too. You know, Ken.
and she was
Yeah.
kind of like a jack of all trades in a way.
Yeah.
She was talented in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So, you know.
But for those who don't know about what this hunting tradition is, I'm gonna read it to you because I was shocked when I said, see, no, I ain't for this. I would be out there in the cold with hypothermia. You just have to kill me out there and throw me in the river. Because I ain't running from y'all in no castle.
Wow. All right, I'm gonna let you tell the people.
Yeah. All right. So let's see, where does this start? Okay, so Simon Kavanaugh, who is the ancestor, because that's what we did say. He is Landon and his dad are the descendants of Simon Kavanaugh.
Oh.
So it's a family tradition, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, come to find out, I said, Lord Jesus, no wonder. They said the apples do not fall from the tree. So let's see. So Winslow Pearson, Landon's dad, he said Simon Kavanaugh, my ancestor, comes from a background which has many traditions of its own. Once he bought this island, he became interested in or obsessed with the Dutch goblin mythos.